I'm wondering where your head is today, if you're starting to draw some conclusions from the rhetoric that we're hearing. On the one hand, the president telling Bloomberg today that the regime, he refers to a new and more reasonable regime in his Truth Post, is dying to settle, while at the same time he threatens essentially war crimes to completely obliterate the civilian energy infrastructure inside the country. Which one do you think is more likely?
Well, frankly, it's just another day in the cruel and chaotic world of President Trump. He took us into this war in Iran without a clear plan, without an address to the nation explaining his goals, and without coming to Congress. And it's costing us billions of dollars a day. We've already lost 13 American service members, more than 300 wounded. I frankly have seen no evidence to support President Trump's assertion that there is a new, more moderate regime in place in Iran. The Iranians are insisting there's no negotiating going on. And Trump, in the meantime, is ordering our armed forces to deploy thousands of special forces, of Marines, of members of the 82nd Airborne to be prepared for an assault on Kharg Island. For your viewers, I'll remind you that Kharg Island is very far up the Persian Gulf, relatively close to the coast of Iran, and getting our troops and material through the Strait of Hormuz up to the area around Kharg Island to carry out an assault would be complex, difficult, and dangerous. More dangerous would be holding it in the face of a relentless attack from ballistic missiles and drones. The Iranians have shown that they can keep making and firing drones that are cheap and lethal, and we don't yet have an answer to how to defend our troops, our bases, and our allies. I'm grateful that our partner and ally Ukraine, which has a lot of experience in facing these exact types of drones, has come to the Gulf and is offering their help. We should take them up on it.
Well, Senator, as you refer to the Iranians and the military decisions they're making, I also wonder about the diplomatic channels here and how successful they can be when the White House press secretary herself said today the U.S. right now is trying to figure out who is in charge of Iran. If we don't know who is in charge, how can we credibly make a deal if we don't know who that deal would be with?
That's a great question to which there isn't a great answer. President Trump, several days into the war, made it clear that he had thought that Larijani, one of the senior elected leaders of the Iranian government, was someone with whom he or his administration might have negotiated, but the Israelis assassinated him. The Israelis have attacked over and over the senior leadership of the intelligence services, of the IRGC, of the Ayatollah and his close advisors, and that has made it difficult for us to assess exactly who's in charge. But we do know this. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the IRGC, has a pretty firm grip on the country and has been trained in how to continue aggressive operations even when there isn't a clear central command. So I don't, in the near term, see an easy path towards there being a real change in the government or the regime in Iran. And now that they've closed the Strait of Hormuz, there are experts saying oil may well go to $150 or $200 a barrel. Americans are seeing gas prices at the pump approaching $4 a gallon. And I think this is going to have a real drag on the daily economic headwinds that millions of Americans are facing.